Hello guys, welcome to Atlantis Freediving channel. In today's episode we will talk about the congestion problems. So if you ever went to holidays and you find yourself you cannot equalize for some reason, this video is for you. Okay, so you have just came for holidays, freediving holidays, you've been waiting for a whole year, and after first dive you realize that there is a problem, you cannot equalize your ears or your sinuses, and it seems like you are congested. What you should do? There are a few tips and tricks that you can do to help you get your equalization back. But first, before we get to these tips, it's a general knowledge that we kind of acquired over the experience in years. And I have to say that we are not medical professionals, so in any case, if you feel bad and you're totally congested, you definitely should go and see the doctor. And if you like to try first things that we talk about in this video, you're more than welcome, and I hope they will help you. So what is the reason you are congested? There could be basically generally two reasons. One is your body has infection going on in the upper respiratory system, and that is causing your tissues inside either sinuses or the upper respiratory system to swell up. And once the tissues swell up, there's more blood flow in there, body's trying to fight whatever is happening there. They will close the sinuses or the passages, and you cannot push the air in to equalize. So this can happen in sinuses, it can happen around the eustachian tube where there is more mucus production, and this will basically stop your equalization or makes it much harder. So if you have infection or you have some kind of bacteria or virus going on, well, you most likely will need to go and see a doctor. But there are a few things that you can do to prevent it going worse. On the other hand, you might just be congested by your body in past or in very near past accumulating mucus, producing more mucus in this area, and now you just need to get it out and you're good to go. So we have to realize that either you have the ongoing little infection and your tissues are swollen, or you have some mucus that you need to get rid of. So first thing is prevention. If you know you're going for holidays, you know you're going to be diving, first thing you should be doing is when you're traveling, when you have a long flight, normally you're going to some tropical destination, you have a long flight, you need to make sure that you are well hydrated during your travel. That means, especially in plane, because in plane you're breathing totally dry air, it's recycled and it's almost 0% humidity, and your body will always try to produce more liquid mucus in your upper respiratory system to keep that air moist. And so if you are even slightly dehydrated, that mucus is going to change viscosity and it's going to become thicker, and that makes that mucus, that liquid, to get easily stuck in places. So making sure you are hydrated is the first step. And then another thing that you can do is, a lot of people like to do, having a drink, because holidays are started and so on, and you're just traveling, you're not diving, why not to have beer or wine or things like that, and that's perfectly understandable. But you have to understand that beer and wine, alcohol in general, will make you more dehydrated as well. So I would try to avoid it if you really are going for a serious training and you don't want to spend first 1 or 2 days out. So you arrived to the destination, and so you found out you are congested. What to do next? Now, first thing that you can do, which is very, very simple, is steaming. If you have a place where you can just grab a pot of water, just boil it. You can add some salt, and what I like to do is add also chamomile. If you get just chamomile tea, just drop a couple of bags in, or get a dried chamomile or fresh chamomile and just boil it with that water. Chamomile has healing properties, which in case you have a little infection going on, it helps clean it faster. So what the steaming does to you to help, it basically brings a hot, very humid air into your upper respiratory system, into the sinuses if possible, and through your nasal cavities all the way down through the trachea down to your lungs. So in all those areas, if there is any thick deposit of mucus that cannot move out that easily, it's going to make it more softer, and your body will try to get rid of it in a natural way. Also, the hot air that you are breathing is going to increase blood circulation in the areas of the nasal cavities, which will promote healing process in case there is some infection going on. So in my opinion, steaming is one of the best things you can do. I just passed COVID 1 or 2 weeks ago, and in fact I had all my sinuses congested for quite a while, and with steaming in 2 or 3 days I could equalize again. It was not perfect, but I could dive. So it did help me a lot, and I highly recommend it. If you do end up going for steaming, I recommend doing it as many times a day as you can. So the more the better. You cannot overdose by steaming, so do it as much as you can. Another thing you can do, which is for some people quite a new thing, for other people they've been doing it in past. This is called neti pot. There are bottles you can buy in pharmacy. We have one here, it's called RhinoDouche, and basically it's a bottle that you put saline water inside and you flush your sinuses. So if you remember in the video with Yoke and Alex, who were here doing a course with us, Yoke was congested and I recommended him to try to do some RhinoDouche, and he was doing it first time. It was great fun. At the beginning it's maybe not very pleasant, but it doesn't hurt and it helps. If you have some deposit of mucus, especially in this area up here, that water will rinse it all out. And what I do, especially in times when I also feel that I have some kind of inflammation going on, I use again chamomile infusion into that saline solution. So I make nice and warm saline solution with you can call chamomile tea without any obviously sugar or anything else, just infusion, and I run it through my sinuses, and that seems to be speeding up the healing process a lot. So you need to be careful, because with the sinus rinse, the water you're using has to be sterile, pretty much sterile. So I would recommend buying a baby water in the shop, but bottled water generally works fine. And you need to add the correct amount of salt. If you put too little salt, nothing's gonna happen, but you're not going to get the effect that you want. If you put too much salt, it's going to burn, and you can become more congested. And then you can, if you buy a RhinoDouche bottle, or if you go to pharmacies, they generally sell you also these kind of packets that come, and they are basically one sachet for 250 milliliters of water, or one sachet for 500 milliliters of water. You cannot make a mistake. You just drop it there and you use it. Another thing, third thing with RhinoDouche or with sinus rinse, is the water temperature has to be as close to your body temperature. Too cold, you will get more congested. It will not be a nice experience. Too hot, well, you guessed it, you're going to burn your sinuses, and that's not going to be pleasant either. So try to go for as close to body temperature. Do the baby food check, just put some water from the bottle on your forearm to see how the temperature is. When it's acceptable, gently running through your sinuses. You should not be forcing it in, especially with those bottles. You can actually squeeze them and send a lot of pressure into your sinuses. Don't do that, it will be painful. Actual original idea comes from neti pot, which actually just used the gravity and the gravity will just put the water through your sinuses. And yeah, I really like the RhinoDouche, the sinus rinse. It helped me a lot, and I even use it with my young son since he was 2-3 years old. At the beginning he didn't like it, but first time and then second time he knows it's going to help him, so he just goes for it. So it does really work, but just make sure that you use a clean water, right amount of salt and right temperature. And so another option, we're going into more maybe drastic options, would be maybe a medication. So what I found that works if you really want to dive and you seem to have some congestion that is just making it really hard for you, you just drop to pharmacy and try to ask for decongestant tablets. Don't use the spray. It will most of the time just open the passages where you breathe, but if you have a sinus problem, it will not help with the sinuses. So if you take a tablet will work in the whole area, and basically what the tablet does is it gives you some sort of vasoconstriction in the area where you have the small capillaries, and will reduce the swelling. So it will basically open up your sinuses and your nose, and it does tend to last 12 or to 24 hours. So if you take it even before the dive, you will see that it is easier. Now, remember that if you're taking this decongestant in the night, it will make it harder for you to go to bed, to sleep. But your pharmacist will explain you that. The ones they sell here in Tenerife, they're called Stop Cold. I'm pretty sure they are pretty international. Well, if you are in situation where you have a chronic sinusitis and full infection in your sinuses, you will most likely have a headache. You will have a pulsating pain in your forehead or in the big sinuses around your nose. In that case, you just need to go to a doctor, and he will probably prescribe you antibiotics. So at this point, forget about diving. You're sick. You need to get better, and then it's going to take at least 1 or 2 weeks before you'll be able to even go anywhere near the water. So unfortunately, that sometimes happens. Not very often, but you can try to see if you already feel some kind of symptoms coming up, to go with the steaming, go with the rinsing, and hopefully it's not gonna go into the point where you will need antibiotics. So with that said, I know some people come from big cities where they have a lot of pollution. Some people maybe are allergic as well, and this is the reason. The body reacts to all the foreign stuff coming through the respiratory system by increased production of mucus. So it is worthwhile to do steaming and maybe sinus rinse. Maybe steaming is much more gentle and much more easier for a few days before your holiday starts, just to get everything out and get clear so you can enjoy your freediving sessions. Well guys, I hope you learned something new, and if you have any comments about or your own experience about your congestion problems and what helped you, or if you have tried something that we mentioned, let us know in the comments. We'd like to hear and share the knowledge with us. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos. We'll have more videos coming up next weeks. And see you on the next video. Thank you very much.